I will tell you the exact steps to not only get into scripting, but level up so that you can take your skills to an advanced level and get that Roblox check under a big studio, or maybe even start your own. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I'm not a master at scripting. I don't know everything, and I still have a lot to learn myself, but what I do have is enough years of experience to tell you exactly what worked for me, and for others I met in the industry. Now right onto the steps. So, assuming that you already have Roblox Studio installed and have opened it up for the first time with a fresh base plate in front of you, you want to start off by looking for any tutorial playlist, and on one of their beginner playlists, you want to take what they teach you in each video and just start doing it. A lot. If in one video they teach you how to change the property of a part with scripts, start experimenting with stuff around the property of parts changing, like making a rainbow part by raising and decreasing the RGB values in intervals for a while loop. You want to build a connection in your brain that the stuff you are learning has uses, so that it's easier to remember and implement. A big mistake some newbies make early on is worrying about optimizing scripts. In fact, you won't even understand how to optimize a script if you don't understand the application behind the feature. Just focus on how X can be used. You may be asking, how exactly can I make a rainbow part if I don't know how to make a while loop? And my answer to that is, if you don't know how to make a while loop, find a tutorial on how to make a while loop and use that. These tutorials aren't one-time watch things, they are resources to take full advantage of and to come back to as a reference. Once you believe you have a general grasp of what's been taught to you in the tutorial video, move on to the next one and repeat the same. The reason why this works is because you are more than likely to use the main concept from a previous video in one of your ideas for the current video. Remember, this is just about building connections, not learning anything too complex. On to step 2. Now, if you reach this part, I'll assume you've gone through an entire playlist of beginner tutorials and you're wondering, what now? Now is when you up that experimenting and completely remove the boundaries to what you think you can make. You're still an amateur at this point, so don't go too overboard, but you just want to make a lot, like a door using tween service or a hit skin gun. At this point, you still aren't concerned about optimization either. Your best friend throughout your entire developing journey will always be the devforum. How do I make a door that slides open? Devforum. How do I make a gun? Devforum. Obviously, if you already have an idea of how to make it yourself, do that first, but even if you are searching up how to make the thing directly, that is still a form of learning if you aren't just copying the entire script. This is how I and many others scaled our knowledge, and it is the fastest way to learn techniques. Alright, now during this stage, there is something very important that you should be doing, and it's something years back I did not do, which affected me heavily down the line. You need to be finishing the experiments you do, and recording them for portfolio work. The bigger the portfolio, and the better the thing you made, the more likely you are to be at ease finding commissions or joining a dev team. This is also important because of my next step, joining a dev team. To understand industry level techniques, you must learn from industry professionals, and the easiest way to do that is joining a team and learning from your colleagues. To anyone who's concerned about joining a dev team, you need not worry. The way you will process is in one of two ways. Join hidden developers and look at what people are hosting in the Scripter hiring channel. Go for something you know you can do. The Talent Hub is also an alternative to this, although worse in my opinion. If you find absolutely nothing that with your skill set you can do, this is where the second way comes in. Go on Discord and start searching for game genres that you like. Don't go for the bigger servers, go for one that's small in size, and even better if it says it's looking for devs. Talk for a little and browse around. See if the server has any scripters and check the sneak peek channels to see if there's anything there that might surprise you or looks far above your skill level relating to scripting. If you find this, you do not want to send a message to the owner or a dev straight away. Build rapport within the community so that you don't come off as someone trying to compromise their game. I've seen this far too many times where someone joins a team, or someone joins a server and they just immediately try to become a developer, and that's just not how it works. You need to, they don't trust you, right? They don't know who you are. You've come from who knows where, and they think that you are probably trying to do something to their game, understandably. So you need to do something about that, which is where building trust comes in. After that is when you want to get in contact with the owner. If the owner's DMs are closed, then send what you were going to say to the second highest up, and make sure to say that you are willing to work for free and send you a portfolio. If you have nothing impressive in your portfolio, your best bet would just be to be honest and say that the scripter is super great and you want to learn from him. When you're trying to sell yourself to the owner of a game, they are looking for people who are just as proactive and optimistic about its future. Say that you are looking forward to the future of the game. Talk about its potential. You should make it sound natural because you are there to show you are enthusiastic about it. This is why it's best to find a game genre you like. In fact, this is also a technique called cold approaching, and does work if you know what you are doing. You might not find success immediately, but just keep looking and you will find a team. Now, why is this important, you ask? There's this quote I quite like and it goes, "It's what we know for sure that just ain't so." And what this has relation to is a curve known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is more than just true when it comes to scripting. In fact, I didn't even know third-party applications like Roho existed until I joined a dev team. More on that in future videos. Hell, most of the optimization every decade-long scripter likes to go on about, I've only learned from colleagues in the dev team. Or the dev forum, of course. This is also the part where your motivation will start to drop, unfortunately, because you realize you are not as smart as you seem and these other people are very smart. Just stick with it and it will work out. Now, this step is also important for building connections. Most of my success in this industry has come from people I've known before who asked me to help them with something, or who can vouch for you when it is required. Remember to vary the projects you join as well. You are here to learn, so don't niche down to one type of game, otherwise you'll limit what you learn. I've practically gone over all the best ways to get into scripting and advanced that, and as you can see, it's really not that complex. But there's one more thing which I tell people all the time that is right beside you when it comes to scripting, and that's free models. Now, this is something I like to use when I couldn't find any answer on the dev forum and didn't know how to solve it myself. I'd search for what I was trying to make in the toolbox, and more often than not, there'd be a script which contains a part of code that I'd be able to apply immediately for the thing I was stuck on, and also in the future whenever I encountered a similar problem. Although they are very helpful, you do want to be very careful with free models though, as it's not all butterflies and rainbows. In some free model scripts, there can be backdoors which basically allows external injection of server-sided scripts for a line of code on the server side of your game. Which in simplest terms, it means they can do bad stuff for your game. There's also the problem that a lot of free models are old. You have outdated API methods that you just don't want to use. I will go into some common outdated methods in a later video, but for now I want to leave that aside as I don't want to hold too much of your time while conveying the most important stuff to you right now. With that is really the final general stuff I can give. After that is really just experience and doing more of what I've already said. At the end of the day, scripting is a skill, and to improve that skill, you need to do a lot of it. There's no cheat codes, there's no ways around it, but there are ways to optimize your progression. This was broad, but I'm certain you will find a lot of success in your scripting journey if you follow these steps and really execute on it. I will dive more into depth with certain stuff in the later videos, and with that, Ball is out.